Welcome to Lehman College's 2024 Fall Convocation. At this time, we ask that you please rise as our program is about to begin. Please welcome our distinguished faculty, led by Faculty Marshal Jorge Fernandez Soriano, Adjunct Professor for the Physics and Astronomy Department. Please welcome the President's Party, led by Lehman College's Deputy Grand Marshal, Professor Paula Los Coco, Department of English. And now, please welcome the stage party, led by Lehman College's Grand Marshal, Professor Immaculée Harushimara, Department of Middle and High School Education. Please remain standing as the New York Police Department Ceremonial Unit proceeds with the presentation of the colors. Please continue to stand for our national anthem performed by Osceola Davis Smith, Adjunct Assistant Professor in the Department of Music, Multimedia, Theater, and Dance.
And bright stars through the
Please take your seats. And welcome our Master of Ceremonies, Jorge Silva Puras, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Student Success.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Lehman College. First, I want to recognize that you have seen what a beautiful campus we have. Of course, you come here quite often, but I want to particularly congratulate our President, Fernando Delgado. He ordered perfect weather, 68 degrees and partially sunny. My only request is that you extend that request to commencement next May, so yes. I also want to thank our distinguished guests today, starting with Assemblymember Jeffrey Dinowitz and several members of the Assembly. We have Assemblymember George Alvarez, former Assemblymember Jose Rivera, who I think I see up there with his camera. He's always with his camera, right? Very good. We also have Council Member Althea Stevens. Council Member Eric Dinowitz is coming in a few minutes. And also from Lehman, I'd like to recognize several colleagues. We have Vice Chancellor Rene Sarmiento here with us. Welcome back, Rene. Lehman is always your house, always your home. We have my favorite Bronx female president, Daisy Coco de Felipe. Thank you very much for joining us. And our very own member of the Lehman College Foundation Board, Julissa Alvarez. Thank you for joining us. So as you know, this is a day of celebration. This is a day where we recognize all the great things happening at Lehman College, and we recognize students, faculty, and staff who make this community the special place it is. This is my second academic convocation. I was here last year maybe for 6 or 7 days as an interim provost. Now I stand here as your permanent provost. You have made me the honor of choosing me as your permanent provost, and I'm delighted to be here because this is truly a very, very, very special place. I'm familiar with many CUNY institutions, and I must say there's something really unique happening in the Bronx. And what I want to do is very briefly highlight some of those great things happening. You probably have seen that our motto is 6 schools, infinite possibilities, as our friend Richard Relkin will remind us to use constantly because it is true. We have 6 schools here, and in each and every one of them, infinite possibilities not only can happen, are happening. And I just want to highlight a few of them. And we will shortly have a video that will highlight more of them. But I do want to recognize some that I think are meritorious. In arts and humanities, we have such a vibrant art community, performing community. Just last night, we had an opening at the art gallery of an exhibit. Just yesterday in the music building, we had a wonderful classical music recital. And that's happening all the time. All the time. You see students practicing with their musical instruments. You see them practicing dance, theater, truly remarkable. You go to Carmen, and all sorts of disciplines in arts and humanities are being discussed and with passion. What I love to do is when I go around campus and I visit many classrooms, I see them getting into arguments with the professor. I say, yes, go, go, go. So that's precisely what we want. We want to encourage that critical thinking. We encourage them, the students, to think, not necessarily accept without challenging. Think about what they've been presenting and make sure that they challenge it when it's necessary. In science, we have groundbreaking research happening right now. Believe it or not, things like antibodies research, things like cancer research, things like cellular biology research. Every spring we have a celebration of faculty research, scholarship, and performing creative performances and creative work. And the things they present really blow my mind. It's incredible how we are building a community that is here for the students, and I see some SGA representatives here. Our reason for being, the reason we're all here, is primarily to serve the students. And research is a very important element of serving students who can see, who can role model with professors like the distinguished adjunct professor of the year, who we'll present shortly, that do research that is breakthrough, and that is critical for us. We also have an anthropology professor, I don't know if she's here, but she's doing groundbreaking research in the Congo and Cameroon. Groundbreaking research that might lead us to better understand the origins of diseases like COVID and monkeypox. And that's happening right here in Lehman College. In business, only 2 years old, where's Dean? Our Dean of the School of Business. We already have had really keynote speakers coming to campus. Last spring, we had the CEO of KPMG come to campus and talk to not only our business students, our entire student population. It was phenomenal event. Later this semester, in the fall, we're gonna have the chairman of Bloomberg coming to campus. So as you can start seeing, again, infinite possibilities in terms of the 6 schools and what we can offer and cover. In education, we are extending our reputation for a center of excellence in pedagogy. Now, beyond the graduate program, we're working very diligently on developing an undergraduate program that will extend that expertise to an undergraduate population, and we're very hopeful that that will happen within the next year or so. In health sciences, who has not, or who here has been to the new nursing facility, the new nursing building here at Lehman? A good number of you, right? It's a beautiful facility, but it's not only the infrastructure, it's what's inside that infrastructure. The quality of the professors, again, who are committed to making sure that we have excellently and high quality prepared nurses that serve our community. As I was discussing with the assembly member earlier, the demand for nurses, the need for nurses, particularly bilingual nurses, multicultural nurses, is so immense that we cannot graduate enough of them. So hopefully this new nursing facility will help us expand the offer beyond our borders. And also we just launched a PhD in exercise science. So as you can see, we're working at all levels, undergraduate, graduate, and even PhD level. And finally, last but not least, professional and continuing education. We have Dean McKillop here. I'm glad to say that through the Bronx Business and Technology Incubator, we are developing breakthrough programs like a certificate in artificial intelligence, which we are offering currently to the community members, but we are going to extend, starting next semester, to students via a program we have here at Lehman called Upskilling. And upskilling will allow students to get academic credit at no cost to them on artificial intelligence, because we need to understand the challenges and opportunities. And I emphasize, there are challenges, as we all know, there are also opportunities. We need to understand them, the ethical implications, but we would do a disservice to our students if we do not make them aware and educate them on those. So without further ado, I would like to invite you to watch a video that further highlights the accomplishments of this wonderful institution. Thank you so very much, and I look forward to talking to you right after the event. Pleasure.
Please welcome to the stage President Fernando Delgado.
Excuse me, a little under the weather, so I gotta get my accoutrement ready so I can get through this. If my voice cracks and it sounds like I'm a 13-year-old again, I apologize. The combination of spring allergies and antihistamines and little sleep are difficult to overcome at my advancing age. As the song once said, I used to be young. I also used to be smarter than I thought I was. It happens. Welcome, everybody. Not just to Convocation, but to the new academic year. Fall is always a momentous time for us. Some of us went away for the summer. Most of us stuck around in the summer, and yet still, fall always starts a new energy, a new season of learning, a new set of challenges and opportunities, an opportunity to reconnect with new students, new colleagues, a chance to reconnect with students who have already been here, and our colleagues who we've worked with, but we need to catch up what we did during the summer. Or, if you're like me, when I finished as a faculty member in May, what we didn't do in the summer as we recharged for the fall. So welcome here today. The irony is we've already kicked off the academic year, and likely already our faculty have begun grading papers and projects and quizzes and presentations. And our students are well into their readings and homework. And students, if you're not, get there. And quickly. I say this as a former provost who once stood in a room staring at a bunch of upper division students in the 11th week of class of a research methods course and realized half of them were just now taking the cellophane off their books. And I paused for a moment. I thought, if they did this to me, oh, our poor adjuncts, what are we going to do to support them? So students, please know that our faculty assign readings in the form of books and textbooks and PDFs and handouts, not because we think we need to support the paper industry, but because we legitimately believe that there are things written in those pages that are of value to you as you navigate your learning. At the very least, as I used to tell my students in Wisconsin, they will give you the big words, and the big words are one of those things that distinguish you as a college graduate. But of course, those books are more than just the big words. They're big ideas, and they're big concepts, and they're big challenges. And so we ask you to dig in, even in this early part of the academic year, to set the tone for the rest of the semester and the rest of your year. Because when you graduate and you become not so smart as you used to think you were, the rest of us are going to be at a place in our lives where we're going to rely on you to have the access to the big words and the big ideas, and even more importantly, the bigger solutions, so that people like me can still sit under a tree, drink some Kool-Aid, crack some peanuts with my friends, and just tell lies. So I love the energy of the fall. Even though I haven't really been in the classroom full time since the millennium began, usually about 2 or 3 days before the semester begins, I wake up around 3 o'clock in the morning. Not dissimilar to graduate school, I have this recurring nightmare. One, even though I told everybody I was going to do my syllabus before we went away for summer, I wake up in the cold sweat and realize I haven't written any syllabi. And it's now dawning on me that the next 2 days are going to be hellacious. Two, there's always that apprehension of, I wonder what students are on the roster. I haven't checked it lately. How full is my class? Because class size means audience. Audience means my ego. Just joking. Class size means the dynamic in the classroom and how I'm going to structure it and who I'm going to meet. And so all that energy still comes back. And then the reality hits me as I drive to campus and I realize, no. Don't worry about the syllabus, and don't worry about the size of the class, and don't worry about the composition of the students, because you're the president. And William in my office is about to hand me memos to sign. And there are things online that require me to put my digital signature on so the bureaucracy can move and the institution can do its job. But ultimately, the job that we get excited about at the beginning of each school year is that teaching mission. It's that coming together as a community of scholars and learners to fulfill our maximum possibilities within the construct of higher education, and in particular, the construct of higher education in the Bronx. We're being educated. Being successful as you navigate through Lehman is a pathway to success. Because every year in the summer, I start to read the documents that say we're somewhere between 4 and 18, depending on which magazine or website, nationally in terms of social mobility. So I know, despite the national debate about the value of higher education, I know what the value of a Lehman education is. I know what the impact it has on our communities, on our families, on our students. And while I would love to engage in debates with those people who want to denigrate any form of higher education and say it's not necessary, I would first agree that it may not be for everybody. But there is still no better point of departure that gives you access and opportunity, doorways and choices that lead to greater fulfillment, greater income, greater impact than higher education. And we at Lehman never forget that. We take great pride in that impact that we have, and we take great pride in the work that we do here. And I'm so very grateful to the faculty and staff who every day live that mission and live that promise. During the course of this year, we're going to live and breathe that commitment every day. I have no doubt. A couple other things are going to happen during the course of this year. We're also going to disagree within our community. But I'm happy that after 3+ years here, I note that when we disagree within our community, we're going to do it respectfully, with an ethic of care, with the notion that whatever divides us, there's something that unites us. And that is the desire to propel the people of the Bronx ever forward, a desire to connect to our community in the Bronx and help make it better socially, culturally, educationally, economically. And certainly, the hard lessons of COVID have told us we have a role to play in the literal health of our communities. And those are pieces we cling to, whatever else the noise around us and whatever else the tensions amongst us. So I ask us to live that promise, but hold on to that ethic of care and respect. We live our inclusivity. We live our vibrancy. Let's not lose that for anybody who chooses to make themselves part of our Lehman community. And finally, and this is mostly a call to the faculty, but not just to the faculty. We have a couple of pillars that we cling to. One is social mobility. It matters to us. It matters to CUNY. It's part of our CUNY mission. And we uphold that mission very well here in the Bronx. The other part is partnerships and collaboration. It's evidenced by the things that we host on this campus. It's evidenced by the people we welcome to the campus. It's evidenced through the work that our faculty and staff and our students do out in the community, individually and collectively, through their courses, as part of their research or creative activity or scholarship. And those partnerships matter in the Bronx because they help people in the Bronx. And they reaffirm the value of why they should have a public institution like Lehman in the Bronx. And that's an important second pillar. But here's the third pillar. And this one's a little bit tougher for us, I think, because we're a humble lot. I'm the only one that makes that bad joke about Hunter is the jewel of the crown, but let's not forget Lehman's the actual crown. But beyond that momentary absence of humility, we're a humble lot. But during the course of any academic year, our faculty and staff are held up by their CUNY colleagues, by their disciplinary colleagues, by the national associations of teachers and scholars and creators that they participate in. And they validate the work of our faculty. They give them awards. And we rarely talk about those. So I ask you, when that happens, share them. Bring them forward. Let Richard Relkin and I and others figure out what to do with that message. Same thing with our programs. We have wonderful programs. Some could say we have the same programs that everybody else does. Okay. But look at the outcomes associated with our students in those programs. There's excellence there. There's profundity there. And periodically, our professional associations call out our programs, whether graduate or undergraduate or non-degree. Share those with your dean, with Richard, with me. Let us figure out how to message that. And periodically, the college writ large gets held up because of what we do as an academic institution, as a place of knowledge and learning and transference of knowledge. And I'll share those with Richard, and he'll figure out what to do with those. My point is, in all three instances, as part of this third pillar, let us not be false humble, and let us not be shy about communicating not just Lehman as a place of opportunity, not just a friendly neighborhood college, not just a great partner in the Bronx, not just a place of access for our students, but a place of deep intellectual and professional work and development, as a place worthy of esteem and respect within the firmament of higher education. Because that is a compelling and true story. And we should not shy away from that. The phrase I use periodically with our deans in the cabinet is, I love everything about Lehman, but you know what we need to not shy away from? The academic wow factor. And the reason why we shouldn't shy away from it is it's true, and it's real, and it's authentic. And we do ourselves a disservice as an institution, both for the people here, but even for our alums, to be false humble. Let's not be false humble. Let's be factually celebratory of our own excellence. That's my call to you for this next year and beyond. Because my great joy in Lehman is seeing us surprise people over and over and over again. My joy in Lehman is seeing who we're supposed to be and who we're supposed to educate, and see people go far beyond even those expectations. And when we do that, gosh darn it, let's shout it from the treetops. Let's stand on our tallest building, or maybe let's cover some of our buildings that face the train with information about our excellence and our uniqueness. Because this truly is a special place, as the provost said, but is also a place of distinction. Distinction not just in the sense that we're different than other people. Distinction in the sense that we're distinctive because of the excellence that we have in our people and in our programs. So I want to champion and tell that story. I need your help with the narrative. So I'll leave you with this. We've got students in the room. We've got 13,000 students or so out there wandering the hallways of Zoom and actual classroom buildings at the same time. They want to be stimulated. They want to be supported. They want to be inspired. Let's do all of that. What some of you may not know is that I'm a wickedly passionate fan of football. And I mean proper football, where the foot actually strikes the ball with some regularity. And in that wonderful sport, which is, as my dear friend Richard Giulianotti once said, radically local but provocatively global, you get to pick your favorite team. As a scholar 20 years ago, my team picked me because of a research project. So my team is Glasgow Celtic, the best club in the world, with the best values in the world. And it occupies a space in Glasgow, historically, not dissimilar than the Bronx. Look up the Gorbals. You might see a history of that neighborhood in Glasgow that's very similar to stories about what Bronx has been. But that's history. We can talk about that over coffee or some other beverage. What's relevant here is that before every game, the players gather in the middle in what's known as the huddle. And they are colloquially referred to as the voice. And the fans begin singing a song, same song they've sung for decades. If you're a fan of Broadway musicals from the 50s, you might remember it. It's called You'll Never Walk Alone. Another club a little bit farther south in Liverpool stole the song, but different story. What I love about You'll Never Walk Alone is it's a song not about excellence. It's a song not about beating other people. It's a song about unity. It's a song about community. It's a song about fellow travelers supporting each other. So I ask the faculty and staff, as you see our new students, gently remind yourselves, as if you were talking to them, you'll never walk alone. I think if we do that, our students will undoubtedly succeed, and we'll write another heroic chapter in the book of Lehman, which for now nearly 60 years has surprised many and brought joy to many more. So thank you for everything that you do and everything that you will do. Students, please raise your hand. I'm going to ask you to keep your hand up and take the solemn oath. I will do my readings. I will prepare my homework. I will not start packing up 5 minutes before the class is to end. Because on behalf of the faculty, that's what we ask of you. Have a great year. We've got a few more things to celebrate here, but the most important thing to celebrate is that still we can get back together, and still I can stand here and look at a group of faculty, staff, and students and know I have the privilege of being the president of the best four-year college in the system, and a partner with two of the best two-year colleges who also share the Bronx with us. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and it is that distinct honor to be your president and to celebrate you. I hope we all have a great year. And if we're not going to have a great year, I hope we each make it to the end of the week relatively sane. How's that? Thank you. my dear provost told me I needed to stand up again. So, if you thought you had enough of me, sorry. One of the great fun things I get to do here, other than wear the cool robe. Oh, the cool robe. It's so, I kind of miss the medallion, but otherwise, it's a cool robe. I generally wear my academic regalia at these kinds of events and at Halloween with the side where I pretend to be the Grim Reaper. Not with this robe, my cheap robe that I got when I left the University of Iowa because it's all black. And coming from Iowa with a little bit of that kind of maize color, it's got that Children of the Corn vibe going for it. Perfect for Halloween. But one of the things I get to do periodically is come up and talk about people. Sometimes there are staff, sometimes there are Emeriti employees, sometimes there are community partners, people who collaborate, people who make a difference in the Bronx. And one of the things that we do is we celebrate them through any number of things. So in the back of the room, we got an honorary doctorate somewhere. In the front here, we have somebody who's received the President's Medal. And there are different processes and different reasons for those awards. But generally, we hand them out for sustained excellence, commitment, impact, and in some ways, when they're affiliated with us in some way, shape, or form, for representing the best of who we aspire to be as an institution of higher education. So today, I get to celebrate, embarrass a little bit, an alum. A member of our class of 75, which makes him young. A man who grew up in the neighborhood. Told you he was young. Lived and lives the Bronx, and used his degree at Lehman not only for a professional platform that took him through law school, but he did something in the spirit of Herbert Lehman. He committed to those things that are important in the Bronx: equity, opportunity, community, and civic mindedness, and in that great tradition of Herbert Lehman, public service. And so for 30 years, that guy has not just been a distinguished alum, but a great champion of the Bronx, a great friend to CUNY and particularly this institution, and personally, a tremendous ally to me, helping me to set the tone for the Bronx delegation, helping us navigate that space of political change and political opportunity and political challenge. I appreciated not only that he's been supportive, but in that best New York way, really clear and direct in his communication. I've appreciated how he still values Lehman and reaches out. I very much appreciated in the early days how he gave advice to a new president who, for some reason, thought it was really good to leave rural northern Minnesota to come to the Bronx in the middle of COVID, because that seemed like a logical decision. It may not have been logical, but that vagabond move was an exceptional choice. And I appreciate his counsel, his help, his modeling, so I didn't go off the rails. I also appreciate him for this weird thing. He's played a pivotal role in the creation, the molding of perhaps one of my favorite city council members, Eric Dinowitz. And I thank you for that as well, Jeff. But really what we want to hold out is 30 years of public service. Think about it, folks, as a New York City resident. 3 decades of back and forth to Albany. Let that sink in. The road to Albany up, back, up, back. A changing group of governors, policies, priorities, personalities. And he may not be that kid in the student ID, but he still kept his sense of humor, and he still kept his passion. And he still kept that ethic of care for his constituency, both in his district and in the Bronx. And so we celebrate him as an alum who continues to give back to the community, who represents students what we want you to do, which is take your degree and go out there, be an engine of change. Go further afield than the Bronx, but don't forget the Bronx, because the Bronx still needs your talent. And the Bronx still has questions and answers that only you may be able to provide. And it needs leadership and commitment. And Jeffrey Dinowitz, he's all of that and more. And so it is with immense pride for Jeffrey Dinowitz, class of 75, and stalwart assembly member, and frankly, in a lot of ways, leader of our delegation from the Bronx, that we confer upon him the President's Medallion.
Please welcome to the stage the Honorable Jeffrey Dinowitz, New York State Assembly Member for District 81 in the Bronx.
That's good. Thank you.
So that first picture, I was 16 years old, very possibly clear-headed at the time. And that's when I entered Lehman, when I was 16, and I actually turned 20, and then I graduated the next month, and it was such a great experience. So they didn't tell me what I should talk about in my remarks. They just said 3 to 4, maybe 20 minutes of remarks. But I should start by saying, none of these buildings were here when I was a student at Lehman College. Some of you may remember when this building wasn't here, although probably not too many. I remember when they built Carman Hall, because I lived across the street, a block away. I was still in high school at the time. So they also, they didn't tell me what to talk about, and normally I would talk about, current events. But I'm pretty opinionated on a lot of stuff, and frankly, we've been deluged with all kinds of things recently, especially since we're in the middle of an election. So I decided to steer clear of that and talk about Lehman and how it's impacted my life. And I don't write speeches, but sometimes I'll write a few bullet points just to make sure I cover everything. So I've lived in the Bronx all of my life. I started out in the Soundview section, and then when I was 10, my family moved to the Northwest Bronx, right on University Avenue here. So when I was a student here, if I had an 8 o'clock class at Carman Hall, I would leave my apartment at 5 to 8. It was pretty good. And we lost my father when I was very young, so my mother had to raise my 2 older brothers and me, and it really wasn't easy. We didn't have a lot of resources or anything. But we got by. I mean, I worked, I delivered for, local stores. I did all kinds of things that a teenager might be doing. When I was here, I don't know what year, but probably in the 2nd or 3rd or 4th year, I started working for the SEEK program. And I know we still have the SEEK program because we fight every year to make sure we get funding for the opportunity programs. And I tutored students in math and in calculus, and I found it very rewarding, and it helped my mom pay the rent. It was great. When I came here, CUNY was really my only option. I did well in school, but CUNY, the price was right. And once I was here, I learned that this place was great. It didn't matter if I went to here or someplace like Columbia. I got such a Class A education here at Lehman College. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, I went to Harvard, I went to this. In my first campaign, my opponent, and he's a great guy, by the way, but I remember when he was saying to at a debate, I graduated from Harvard, I said, well, I graduated from Lehman College. And I guarantee you many more people related to me on that, because that's where people in the Bronx, that's where it is for a lot of people. When I started volunteering in politics and in tenant work, before I was 18, by the way, it really affected the course of my entire life. And I always wanted to do stuff in my community. And having lived in this Northwest Bronx for all but 10 years of my life, I always felt it was important to do what's right for the community, to help your neighbors. And eventually that led me to running for political office when the opportunity arose, even though it was never even in my mind when I first got involved in politics. I got involved in politics because of the anti-war movement in the 70s. But when the opportunity arose, I knew I had to do it. And I've been doing it for, as you said, for 30 years. I also wanted to make sure that we had a neighborhood, a community, where my children would want to raise their family. So many people were leaving the Bronx, and that's the nature of the Bronx. The Bronx is always in constant flux. This is nothing new. This is how it's always been. But I wanted my family to stay in the Bronx, and we had so many friends who left, but we didn't leave. We made a decision that we were going to raise our family in the Bronx, and we wanted our kids to want to do the same thing. And that's what's happening. And ultimately, my son, who I never dreamed would want to get involved in politics in that way, ran for the city council, and he got elected. And so we're just Bronx boys. But I got to tell you, I don't know what anybody's major is here. I loved, and I don't like sitting still for too long, but I really loved most of the classes that I took at Lehman College. I was a history major, and I had such great professors. I actually enjoyed most of my classes, and we had to take some classes because you had these study areas, whatever they called them. You had to take 2 from this and 3 from that, and I didn't always like doing that. But it was overall, it was such a good experience being here, and I think it really set the tone for the rest of my life. I was fortunate because when I went to Lehman, it didn't cost so much. In fact, it didn't cost anything. And I've always believed that everybody today should have the same opportunity that I had when I was here. If Lehman College had tuition the way the private colleges did, I may not have been able to go to college, and that would have been horrible. But the City University, and of course Lehman here in the Bronx, has given opportunities to countless people who've gone on to do so many wonderful things. And if we didn't have a Lehman College, who knows what we would have lost as a result of that. I mean, think about it. You saw the things on the screen before. I couldn't see because it was behind me, but I saw a little bit of it. And it's so important that we support our college here, that we support the City University. I mean, that's one of the priorities that I have as a legislator in Albany, to make sure that we fund the City University, that we fund, all these new buildings that have come up in recent years. I'm always amazed by it. I mean, we were at the ribbon cutting for the nursing building. When was that? Last year? I can't even remember anymore. Recently. But I've also been to ribbon cuttings for the science building, all these other buildings, the gym, the beautiful library. None of those things were here. We had the 4 old buildings plus Schuster Hall and the what is now the art building that used to be the library. That was all that was here until they built Carmen Hall. But now Lehman College is like a major place where so many good things are happening. It's different now. the student body may be different. I think it's probably an older student body than when I went. You know, the demographics are different. But one thing has always remained constant here, and that is that people are given opportunities to fulfill their potential because of Lehman College and because of all the distinguished people here who make it happen. And for that, it's worth, you can't even translate into dollars how much that's worth. But it's impacted the lives in such a positive way of so many people, and I'm one of them, and I'm forever grateful for that. I can't believe it's been so long since I graduated, but it almost seems like yesterday, and I look a lot like those pictures that were up there, I know that, but the fact that I still have those IDs, I think is an indication of how important Lehman was to me, to my life, and therefore to my family's life as well. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm really honored to be up here, and I'll also be forever grateful for that.
Please welcome back to the stage Provost Silva Puras to present Lehman College's 2024 Teacher of the Year Award.
Thank you. Oh, I don't know what I did with my college IDs, but I'm sure they're somewhere in.
I pretty much saved everything, but I'm not a hoarder.
Well, we come to one of my favorite parts of Convocation, and this is the part where we recognize two very special members of our faculty. Every year we have a tradition of recognizing a Professor of the Year and an Adjunct Professor of the Year. The program says teacher. I don't know why it says teacher. I thought professor was given, we're in a university, the proper term. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to take that license. And refer to two individuals who I have met, who I have interacted with extensively, and who represent the best of what Lehman has to offer to our students, our colleagues in the faculty, our staff, our entire community. And the first one is Professor Juan Jesus Payan, who is the Associate Professor in the Department of Languages and Literature. You will see in your program that there is a short bio about Juan Jesus. He also participated in our commencement ceremony back in May, and he is so amazing. Not only does he have not one, he has two PhDs, one from the University of Cadiz in Spain and another one from UCLA, both in Hispanic Lit. But what I really appreciated and admired about Juan Jesus is how he managed the classroom, how his students really enjoy the class, how he brings it to life. And we're going to see in a moment a video that highlights some of those moments. He cannot be here with us, so we have the chair of the Languages and Literature Department, Professor Oscar Martin, receiving the award in his name. But I do want to highlight a couple of quotes from his students. One student remarked, quote, "He has taught me more than 19th century realism. He has taught me about life, history, and myself." Another student is quoted as saying, "He is the epitome of what all of us aspire to be." Wow. If as a professor I received such a compliment, I think that would make not my day, my year, my decade, would probably make my life, you know, to see how you can make such a tremendous contribution towards someone's life. So I would like to invite Professor Martin to join us here as we recognize Juan Jesus as the Professor of the Year of Lehman College. Thank you very much.
And now Provost Silva Puras will present Lehman College's 2024 Adjunct Teacher or Professor of the Year Award.
Thank you. Very good. And the Adjunct of the Year award goes to another tremendous individual who is joining us here today. He is, as we say in Spanish, a tocayo. We share the same name. We're both Jorge, so I guess your mother had a good idea when she named you. Jorge is it's a postdoctoral researcher and adjunct assistant professor in our Department of Physics. He earned his doctorate in 2022 from the CUNY Graduate Center. And again, I'd like to quote from some of his students and the reason why we recognize him today. The quote says, "He is not just an educator. He embodies the very essence of what it means to be a mentor and a guide." His student remarked on his ability to bring physics theory and practice together in concrete ways. In essence, he brings science, and sometimes very complicated science, to life in a way that the students can assimilate it, not only assimilate it, but also use it. As we know, we learn better by doing. That's what we call experiential or active learning. And that's precisely what Jorge brings to the classroom, brings to the lab. So I would like to, again, congratulate you, Jorge, and invite you to come forward to receive your award.
Hello, good morning. First of all, I wanted to thank you all for recognizing the value of adjuncts here. Today it's me who is here, but there are plenty of us who work very hard every day despite the uncertainty about our future. So things like this, I think, help keeping us motivated and keep us going in the hard work. I also wanted to thank the faculty in the Physics and Astronomy department. So I arrived here around 8 years ago to do my PhD at the Graduate Center. And ever since, everyone at the department has offered me only support and encouragement and a lot of freedom to do things my own way and to take on responsibilities that maybe I shouldn't have taken as an adjunct, but all that has made me grow a lot as a hopefully future professor, and so I'm very grateful for all that. And most important, I'm very grateful to my students, first for nominating me for this award and putting me up for this speech, even though they didn't show up.
Doing the homework.
Yeah, sure. But also, I'm thankful to them for allowing me to use them as an experiment. So as I try to improve the way I teach or try to figure out what's the best way to present a topic or make it more interesting or challenging, I have to try new things, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. When they work, they are always very grateful, and when they don't work, they are always very forgiving in ways that I think I was not when I was a student. So I couldn't ask for better students. And I guess the last thing I wanted to say is to comment on something that I've observed in my time here at Lehman, in conversations both with students and faculty, which is that sometimes I perceive this little sense of lack of motivation in students that is caused by what they perceive as lack of motivation in the professors. And sometimes I see a lack of motivation in professors for that same reason, what they perceive to be lack of motivation in students. But then you talk to students and they, as they already mentioned, they want to get challenged, they want to get pushed, they don't want to get a degree, they want to earn a degree. They want to work hard for it. And I talk to professors, and they really care about the students. They want to improve things. They want to make students' lives better. So what I suggest for this academic year to all of us is that we get past our feelings and we actually do our best for the other, but also demand the best from the other. As they said, we are an excellent school, so we should demand excellence from each other. Universities are not made of buildings or grants and funding. They are made of people. And here we have the best people we could ask for. So it's up to us to make this, not to make this school great, to keep this school great. Thank you so much.
Please welcome back to the stage President Fernando Delgado.
It's never a good thing to follow up somebody who just won a teaching award. By the way, I love that you're from physics, because gravity, like my teenage daughters, keeps me grounded. Gravity is much more gentler and respectful, however. I love my daughters. All right, I love award season. We've got outstanding contributions to the college awards. We've got a number of awardees to go through. I think we do them individually, so we're just going to start at the top. The first presentation goes to Corina Rojas from the Foundation and Advancement. And her nominator was Danielle Jean-Marie. Corina, I think we call you forward to give the award, right? You're already here. Do you want to say some words? I do. Because you had that. That was my clue. I may be slow.
Please welcome to the stage Danielle Jean-Marie, Executive Director of the Herbert H. Lehman College Foundation.
Good morning, Lehman College. Please bear with me. It's been some time since I've had a captive audience. But does anyone know who this dazzling person here on the screen is? Well, if not, let me introduce you to the one, the only, Corina Rojas, my true boss. She's the Foundation's administrative assistant superhero, accounts payable wizard, and queen of teamwork. It was my honor to nominate Corina for this outstanding contribution award for serving the Lehman community for 16 years. Yes, 16 years, longer than most celebrity marriages. But, you know, her glue has kept Lehman very strong. Corina has contributed her skills to buildings and grounds, the Office of the President, and for the last 6 years, the Division of Institutional Advancement and the Herbert H. Lehman College Foundation. If there was an Olympic event for multitasking, she would have more gold than Michael Phelps. If you ever wonder who the T in team is, wonder no more, it's Corina. She's the one who pulls the strings, makes all the magic happen, and generally holds the foundation office together. During the pandemic, while many of us was mastering the art of baking sourdough bread, Corina was braving the office to make sure the students continued to receive financial support they needed. She was one of our many unsung heroes behind the scenes, ensuring that our food bank and our emergency grants kept flowing. And if dedication was a sport, she would have her own statue. Assisting managing the Lehman College Foundation's $13 million in assets across nearly 400 funds is no small feat. With an annual activity of about $6 million, I think she earned her superhero cape. But she handles it all with grace, you know, almost as a ballet dancer, and with the precision of a Swiss watch. And let us not forget, she does this all technically with a team of 2.5, which is quite a skeleton crew. But beyond her job description, Corina's integrity, her flexibility, her collaborative spirit makes her an invaluable asset to everyone here at Lehman College. She's the kind of person that makes us all look good. And personally, I'm incredibly lucky to have her. So with this, I ask that we all raise our hands and we have a resounding round of applause for Karina Rojas, our only Lehman superstar.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Penny Prince, Professor and Graduate Coordinator for Music, Multimedia, Theater, and Dance.
Before I give the mic over to Penny, remember what I asked the faculty to do? Penny, in the middle of summer, early June, sends an email out. Says, you might want to know, I've won a big award. It sounded like it was both a combination of excellence and sustained excellence. So it wasn't just longevity, it was sustained excellence over a career. I've mentioned it once or twice publicly. We'll do more mentioning. These are the kinds of stories we want to say out there so that people walk by or drive by Lehman and go, wow, that's Lehman College. They do amazing things there. So help me help you as we celebrate each other.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you so much. It was about 22 years ago that I came to Lehman, and I started off as an adjunct. And in my class, it was a graduate level class for music teachers, people who were becoming music teachers. Dorina was one of my students, and she was an outstanding student. She's brilliant. She's an excellent violinist. So already I knew she was someone special. And then when she got her master's degree, it was a time of change in our music department, and we needed someone to manage our office. And Dorina stayed on, and she became a CLT, then a senior CLT. She's a genius CLT. She's more than a CLT. She runs the department, I have to tell you. Along with doing everything for staff, for faculty, for the students, she also has played in all the orchestras along the way. If a professor needs her to demonstrate something, like John Corigliano always used to call Dorina to play the violin for his class, to perform students' compositions. She's played in the Latin jazz band, the orchestra. She was part of the Lehman Chamber Players. She's an excellent violinist. But she's evolved into one of my best friends and someone I can count on any time of the day or night. You know, we all, I think, have colleagues who say, it's the weekend, I'm not answering my email, or it's the summer, I'm not getting involved. I can call Dorina anytime, I've done it, in the middle of the night, if I'm frantic about something, if I need a shoulder to cry on, if I'm coming to Lehman and my stockings ripped and I needed to bring a pair of tights for me. When I was in the hospital, a year ago, I was in the hospital at this time. She came and visited me. She said, don't worry, everything's fine at Lehman, I'll be there. And she came to the hospital. We had a student who was missing for a few days. We were very worried about him. She called his neighbors, she called friends, she called the police to finally go and check that the guy was alive. She's just, she has total integrity. You can tell her something and she'll never repeat it. She has excellent judgment. Many times I've asked her opinion, what should I do about this student? What should I do about this professor? She's always given me excellent advice. She's just really an outstanding person, and I'm so grateful that Lehman has recognized her this year. Thank you. official too. Really. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please welcome to the stage Victor Schneider, Chief Administrative Superintendent for Buildings and Grounds.
Wow, Rena Fontanelli. It's an honor to be standing before you today. I had some notes prepared, but I just want to speak freely. Rena is great. Every morning I walk through the door to the Buildings and Grounds office. The first one there is Rena Fontanelli. Smile, her grace, her presence, it makes the day that much easier. I got a strew of emails that I'm looking to get a hold of before the day starts. But Rena sets the tempo for me, settles me down. We have a nice little conversation in the morning. So I'm fairly new to Lehman. We handle a lot of jobs here, but Rena is the nucleus. She keeps us all grounded. She's in a world of many trades, a lot of men, a lot of different personalities. She handles it all. She keeps everyone grounded. She is gone to on so many different levels that it just astounds me. So again, I can rely on her, and I lean on her for many things, and I thank you for that. What a privilege to be able to nominate you for this award, well deserved. Hundreds of moving parts, but I just from the bottom of my heart want to thank you for all you do, continue to do, and God bless you. Thank you, Rena Fontanelli. Congratulations, Rena. I think we're going to slide over here for a picture. Look beautiful.
Please welcome back to the stage President Fernando Delgado.
Sorry I was gone for so long. So this next award, I'm not quite sure that we give out every year. But we periodically give it out, I believe, because we have people here who, in the period of time that they're with us, let's say a career, show outstanding leadership. The kind of leadership that makes an impact, the kind of leadership that can be measured qualitatively and quantitatively, the kind of leadership that leaves a legacy. And so today we have an honoree who fits that criteria. 4 decades or so of service to this institution. A legacy of care, a legacy of building a unit, sustaining it through change, meeting challenges, collaborating with others, and keeping me safe. And I crash into things a lot because I walk with my head down looking at my phone. So that's no small feat. But more important than that little joke is the fact that he takes this institution so seriously. He cares about it. I believe he doesn't sleep at night so that I can sleep better. Because I know he's thinking about how to make this institution safer, how to create better spaces for people, how to allow us to flourish in the face of lots of things that have hit us just in the last decade. Don't want to go back to COVID, but COVID. This person is held in high regard by his team. In fact, it was his team that came forward with the idea and said, I think we need to do this. And having looked at the file and having considered the variables, I agree with the team. This person is deserving. This person takes this institution seriously, in the way that you would seriously consider your family. Having said all of that, I so want to see that picture of him in parachute pants with his afro when he was a student. Because the person I'm talking about is our head, our director of public safety, Fausto Ramirez. Now, do me a favor, because he's starting to walk off the stage. How about a round of speech, speech, speech?
Oh, wow. What a surprise. You know, I never think about myself. I just, you know, do what I do. But let me bring you back to maybe 1984 when I first walked onto Lehman campus and things like that. Matter of fact, I was still trying to find my way, trying to figure out, you know, what's the next step and things like that. As a matter of fact, I was working for a company called Burns International. I don't even think they around anymore. And I was working part-time, and as a matter of fact, I was going to John Jay College, you know, trying to get my degree in you know, in law enforcement. And I made that call to say, listen, you got to get me out of here. I can't, I'm stuck in a building, and I'm just checking IDs like we do now. You know, it's funny, you know, it's funny. And so the dispatcher said, Fausto, we just got awarded a contract, and it's at Lehman College. And I had just moved into the Bronx as well, and everything. As a matter of fact, I was living at on the Grand Concourse on 173rd Street. I think it was called Weeks Avenue. I'm still there. As a matter of fact, my son, who's a police officer, as a matter of fact, patrolling that same neighborhood and everything. He works for the 4-6 precinct. God bless him. I love him so much. And the minute I stepped foot at Lehman College, as a matter of fact, I worked at gate number 10. It's no longer there where the Performing Arts Center was there. My first thing was at dispatching people to do work assignments and everything like that. Then they, what they did was made me go on patrol. And I was loving it, patrolling the campus. It was a beautiful campus and things like that. It's even more beautiful now. I remember one of the sergeants said, Fausto, you better slow down because you're making us all look bad. You know, I said, oh my God, you know, and stuff like that. And this one person who's no longer with us, I think some people may know him, Dominic LaPeruta, who was kind of like my mentor, my second father. He took me in and gave me a chance to become a supervisor. here, and from there I just took off and everything. But not only that, it's the people, the students, the faculty and staff that you meet every day. You know, you learn so much from them and everything like that, and the hard work that they do. You know, like it influences. You know, it keeps me energized and things like that to make sure. I mean, I always say to my staff and everything like that that, you know, what's the goal of public safety? Oh, they'll tell you, keeping the campus safe and secure. I says, no, you know, the first thing is to do is we have to make sure the educational process keeps going and everything. Our job, yeah, we'll protect the people, but we got to make sure make sure that people have the feeling that they can just do their work, do their hard work and things like that, and don't worry about being safe, because we're here to protect you. And I think my team does an excellent job. They take a lot of pride. They always tell me, I always tell them, listen, if you don't care where you work, then why are you here? And everything like that. So we take pride. I mean, sometimes I even assist building and grounds sometimes, you know, where I'm picking up garbage and everything. And Professor, why are you picking up garbage? I said, no, because you know why? Because I care. I care, and we all should care about this place and everything like that. This is my home away from home. My heart is beating because I'm so, you know, I'm so surprised, and but you know, I just want to say, you know, thank you guys, and thank you. Maybe I can last here another 40 more years. I don't know, and things like that, but it's because of you. So, thank you.
You want another picture? Just the two of us? Do you want the provost too, or just provost? Victor. Fausto. Whoa. Fausto. No, you don't. One more picture. At least, right? Because you always start with one and then it's like 4 or 5, right? All right. Is Sonia here? Where's Sonia? You got it, huh?
Please welcome to the stage Khadija Diallo, President of the Student Government Association, who will provide closing remarks.
Good morning, President Delgado, our esteemed faculty and staff, and my fellow students. My name is Khadija Diallo, and I am a biology student on the pre-medical track. I am deeply honored and humbled to stand before you today, serving you again as the Student Government President, representing the voices of our incredible and diverse student body. To our returning students, welcome back. Your continued commitment to academic excellence and your role in fostering a sense of unity and belonging within our campus community are truly commendable. Your experiences and wisdom will be invaluable to our newcomers. To our new and transfer students, I would like to first congratulate you on your acceptance to Lehman College. Also, welcome to our incredible academic community. Your journey here marks the beginning of an exciting chapter in your lives, one filled with opportunities, challenges, growth, and lifelong friendships. You have chosen a path of higher education, so be very proud of yourself. As we gather here today, celebrating the commencement of a new academic year, I am reminded of the incredible journey that each of us has embarked upon. Our paths to this journey have been unique, characterized by hard work, dedication, and determination. Some of us are returning, for another semester, while others are just beginning their academic journey. Regardless of where we stand today, one thing is certain: the challenges and triumphs of the past have prepared us for the challenges and triumphs of the future. Our college is not just a place of learning, it is a community of diverse individuals who share a common commitment to knowledge, personal growth, and making a positive impact on the world. We are students from various backgrounds, cultures, and walks of life, brought together by our shared pursuit of excellence. It is this diversity that makes our campus a vibrant and enriching environment for learning and personal development. As we commence this academic year, I encourage each of us to embrace the opportunities that lie before us. Let us approach our studies with curiosity and a hunger for knowledge. For it is through learning that we unlock our full potential. Let us also remember the importance of community and collaboration, for it is through working together that we can address the complex challenges of our time and create a better future for all. Most importantly, I want to acknowledge the tremendous support we've received from our dedicated faculty and staff. Their commitment to our education and well-being is truly invaluable, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. So at this moment, faculty and staff, may you all please stand up. So everyone, please help me give them a round of applause. Thank you. This is why I love Lehman. The professors here, they truly care about our success, not just in their classrooms. Let us also make the most of the resources and guidance they provide and show our appreciation through our dedication to our studies and our involvement in campus. In year 2, as your student government president, I promise to continue working tirelessly with my team, who are seated over there, to represent the experiences and to represent your interests, to amplify your voices, and to make our college experience as enriching as possible. Together, we will create a vibrant and inclusive campus community where every student can thrive. Let this convocation serve as a reminder of the incredible potential that resides within each of us and the boundless possibilities that await us in the coming semesters. Let us embrace this journey with enthusiasm, determination, and a commitment to excellence. I have no doubt that together we will achieve great things, and our campus will continue to shine as a beacon of knowledge, innovation, and positive change. Thank you, and may this semester be filled with success and fulfillment for us all.
Thank you for joining Lehman College's 2024 Convocation. Now please stand for the President's Party and Faculty Recessional. You are welcome to join a reception in the faculty dining room immediately after the program.